Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, good day to you. That's depending where you are in the world. I am here live in London. I record this on YouTube live and then I repost it depending where you're listening or seeing it. It's my nighttime devotion. The devotional is called Conflict and Courage. The title today, Two Hands for God. The scripture reading is taken from 2 Corinthians 6, verse 1. We then, as workers together with him, beseech you also that ye receive not the grace of God in vain. Brother Andy, it's good to have you here. The Lord gave an important lesson to his people in all ages when to Moses on the mount he gave instruction regarding the building of the tabernacle. In that work, he required perfection in every detail. Moses was proficient in all the learning of the Egyptians. He had a knowledge of God, and God's purposes had been revealed to him in visions. But he did not know how to engrave and embroider. Israel had been held all their days in the bondage of Egypt. And although there were ingenious men among them, they had not been instructed in the curious arts which were called for in the building of the tabernacle. They knew how to make bricks, but they did not understand how to work in gold or silver. How was the work to be done? Then God himself explained how the work was to be accomplished. He signified by name the persons he desired to do a certain work. Bezalel was to be the architect. This man belonged to the tribe of Judah, a tribe that God delighted to honor. And I, behold, I've given with him Aholiab, the son of Ahishmach, of the tribe of Dan. And in the hearts of all that are wise-hearted I have put wisdom, and they may make that I have commanded thee. That's Exodus 31. Among the multitude were Egyptians, who had acted as overseers for such work and thoroughly understood how it should be done. But the work was not dependent upon them. The Lord united with human agencies, giving them wisdom to work skillfully. Skill in the common arts is a gift from God. He provides both the gift and the wisdom to use the gift aright. In order that the earthly tabernacle might represent the heavenly, it must be perfect in all its parts, and it must be in every smallest detail, like the pattern in the heavens. So it is with the characters of those who are finally accepted in the sight of heaven. Let the workman in the service of God today pray to him for wisdom and keen foresight, that they may do their work perfectly. Two hands for God. So here we see that Moses was given the blueprint for the sanctuary, the tabernacle. But the men or the people were not skilled enough to do the work that was required to do. And they had to turn to God for him to pick out the men who would be able to fulfill the work that needed to be done. Now it says, bearing in mind there were lots of Egyptians with them. A lot of Egyptians left Egypt with them because they also were converted and wanted to follow the God of all creation because of everything they saw and witnessed, experienced during that time. Israel was in bondage in Egypt, and especially because of the 10 plagues. A lot of the Egyptians turned, got converted, and believed. And so because a lot of these Egyptians did have skills, they were able to be utilized. And then God picked out various guys, men, who he could give the skill and the wisdom. And exactly what he did. And this is how it was accomplished. God bless those that were open to learn and do his will. And this is what he is looking for us also. When we are in the last days, we are in the chapter 2 of Daniel with the statue. We are at the very end of the toenails of those feet. When I say the end of the toenail, I'm talking about we're at the very tips of the nails. We're on the very end of time. And a lot of us are like, well, I'm not skilled in this or skilled in that. We pray. He knows your potential. He knows my potential. He knows what we would be able to do. Him giving us the skill and the wisdom. What we need to do is trust and obey. To trust means to trust him that he will visit us when we need the visit. To obey is to not get distracted, but to just do his work as and when the work needs doing. Trust and obey. There is no other way. To be happy in Jesus, this is the song, than to trust and obey. If we don't trust and obey, we will always live an empty existence. And I'm sure no one likes to feel empty. You're always searching for something. And when you're just searching for something, you will just pick up and find anything instead of the real truth. I'm preaching to myself as well. Trust and obey.